LA this week.
The All-Star Game, like so many things in our lives, was put on hold, but now we are back.
The continuing building and development of these fields is important to us because it is helping our kids.
The Black community helped build this community. It helped make it the creative capital of the world, and so our story is one that's on the front page.
Hello everyone, I'm Natalia Bilbao, and here's what's happening in LA this week. Mayor Eric Garcetti, Councilmember Curran Price, and a host of Major League Soccer representatives gathered at Banc of California Stadium to announce the professional soccer event SoCal fans have been waiting for. And the wait will be over in August 2021. Take a look.
We're here to announce the 2021 All-Star Game between Liga MX and Major League Soccer MLS All-Star on August 25th, 2021.
It's great to be in the bank here today, to be able to come together and to see each other face to face, to be able to feel the progress that we've made after a painful and traumatic year. I couldn't be filled with more joy in this glorious stadium that frames the downtown, the heart of this amazing city. We know the healing power of sports, and we need it now more than ever. We need to feel that spirit, este espíritu, that fraternity, that we can come together and see each other, see folks exploding smoke bombs in the far reaches of the bank, make a deposit in this bank of goodwill, of love, of restoration, and of health. And trust me, Los Angeles is ready.
For our club, our community, and our city, we are honored to be hosting this truly special international event in August, which will mark another emotional milestone for the city of Los Angeles on the other side of what has been an incredibly challenging 15 months.
You know, the magnitude of having the MLS All-Star Game played for the first time here is just what we need.
We thought the best way to show the best of soccer in this part of the world was to get our best players together and play in the MLS All-Star Game.
This will be the 25th All-Star Game played in MLS history, and to have it be the best of both great leagues playing in Los Angeles just makes this so special.
It was here at the end of 2019 that America's newly crowned top soccer city, the #1 football city in America, announced that we would have the MLS All-Star Game here in Los Angeles. But we had no idea what was right around the corner. We had no idea the year of loss that we would feel. The All-Star Game, like so many things in our lives, was put on hold, but now we are back.
Councilmember Joe Buscaino helped cut the ribbon on a new tiny home village in District 15. The new property, called Salvation Village, will house up to 80 homeless people, including students of LA Harbor College. Here's that story.
We're here today to celebrate the fact that 80 more people will be coming off the streets and into shelter and services into the safe and secure Salvation Village.
We're real honored to be able to provide the design and manage the construction of this new home for 75 people. And what's great is, you know, with the benches and the plants and ADA accessible housing, it's just really, really nice. And one of the things that we like to do is add color. You'll see color throughout this facility, how to make it more inviting. Just like we all like color in our home, we want everybody to feel like this is their home, on their way onto permanent housing.
Y nosotros les vamos a brindar los servicios que tenemos nosotros en el colegio. So, cuando empiecen a venir la gente, les vamos a ayudar para que sean estudiantes, para poder brindarles muchos de los servicios que nosotros también tenemos, para que puedan agarrar una educación, un trabajo, para que sigan adelante.
The Los Angeles Dodgers Foundation has been a long-standing partner of LA City in encouraging youth to be active, healthy, and outdoors. Part of that commitment is the opening of All-Star Dodgers Dream Fields all across the city. Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw took time off the mound to cut the ribbon at Lincoln Park Recreation Center.
Despite this postponement, Major League Baseball, the Dodgers Foundation, the City of LA, and our partners all maintained their commitment to Lincoln Park. And after challenging delays, starts and stops, and phased completion of this project, we are here standing together to celebrate.
You realize that it's a tremendous opportunity that a lot of these people, everybody here today is here for them and want them to see them succeed, not at baseball, but at life. And this is a good stepping stone for that. And yeah, have a ton of fun. Have fun.
But nothing we do is more important than the way we look to the future. And that is why the continuing building and development of these fields is important to us, because it is helping our kids look to their future.
This is an opportunity for young boys and girls to thrive, to learn the skills of leadership, to learn the skills of sports, to learn the skills of teamwork, and make them better citizens in our community.
And there were more openings recently, inviting families to get outdoors and shake off the COVID quarantine routine. Councilmember Cedillo and the Department of Recreation and Parks cut the ribbon on a newly renovated playground in Highland Park. The renovations come just in time as restrictions to the COVID-19 pandemic are officially lifting.
It's just a wonderful morning, and as we begin to put COVID in our rearview mirrors of our lives, it's great that we know that when we do come out, there's going to be great new places for our kids to be at. The city didn't stop working during the period of COVID, and so we're able to come out day one and open up a new rec area for the young boys and girls of this community.
This is something we come to every single day. I think this park is amazing and beautiful. I am especially thrilled about the resilient flooring that's on here, and the shade that is above the playground is amazing to protect the children from too much sun.
So the upgrades at this park is obviously you see a brand new playground, different apparatuses that we didn't have in the past on the older playground. It has a hydration station, which is a new type of drinking fountain, and it also has shade canopy over the playground that provides instant shade for the kids to come and recreate.
We go to the school across the street, and we know that there are a lot of kids from the neighborhood who like to come and use the playground here. Yeah, I'm happy to see that that parks around the city are getting renovated, and that money from Measure A and other places are actually coming to help support our playground renovations, and make some really awesome play spaces for our kids.
I ask that the community come and embrace the park. The park is for the community. Come and enjoy it, and that's the reason why we build parks, so people come and exercise. People of all ages, that's what the parks are for. Come and recreate and enjoy your park. It belongs to the community.
The Port of Los Angeles celebrates a 10 million unit milestone. LA City continues its LGBT Heritage Month celebration, and a new rainbow halo helps raise awareness of traffic fatalities. These stories up next on City Beat.
Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, along with Longshore labor union leaders and port officials, gathered this week at the Port's Phoenix Marine Services Container Terminal. The reason? To recognize the latest historical achievement for the Port of Los Angeles.
Today, we are marking a milestone because this is the 10th million TEU in the last 12 months, a brand new record. Let's hear it for LA and the port.
The Port of LA became the first port in the Western Hemisphere to process 10 million container units in a 12-month period. And their sites are trained on breaking the record for annual volume in 2021. The port plans for 15 million containers during the next 12 months. The City of Los Angeles continues its virtual celebration of LGBT Heritage Month with a spotlight on Black LGBTQ+ activists for change, also known as BLAC. BLAC is the organization that spearheaded the All Black Lives Matter March in the heart of Hollywood. The mural was a collaboration of public and private resources to elevate awareness for the violence and mistreatment of marginalized LGBTQ+ groups. Councilmember Paul Koretz and Southern California Families for Safe Streets held a rainbow halo ceremony to honor Monique Munoz, a 32-year-old resident who was fatally struck in her car by a teenage driver going 120 miles per hour.
It is a small gesture on the part of the city to be able to install these permanent memorials.
We're doing many things to add enforcement, to make it more difficult to speed, to remind people of what their speed is, and we hope to save lives with all that.
The Rainbow Halos honor those killed in traffic violence and remind our city of its commitment to Vision Zero.
Summer 2020 saw a historic swell in public support for the racial justice movement. Unlike other protests in recent history, 2020 seemed different because it illuminated the difficulty of turning protest into concrete political and policy changes. That was felt by people across the spectrum socioeconomically. Anita Bennett sits down with USC law professor Jody Armour to discuss the actual cause and effects of the 2020 summer of protest.
Over the past year, we've seen nationwide protests calling for an end to racial injustice and police brutality. But has anything really changed? Well, joining me to discuss these issues is Jody Armour.
We're good to be with you.
Yeah, so has anything changed?
In some ways, ain't nothing changed but what year it is. You know, I wrote a book about this in 1997. I talked about brutality at the front end with respect to police officers and at the back end with respect to the criminal justice jails and prison systems. Not much has changed in that intervening 20-plus years.
In terms of the LAPD, are they doing things right, in your opinion?
They're resisting the fundamental demand that's been made by the activists and protesters in the street that you heard coming out last summer, and that was to unbundle the police. We recognize that in this country, we've given the police too many tasks. We've saddled them with too many burdens, right? We've made them our street-level social workers. Rather than spending at the front end on care and concern for our citizens, providing affordable housing, affordable health care, and the like, we allow criminogenic conditions to fester. And then when crime comes out of those criminogenic conditions, which is very foreseeable, we make police our problem solvers. Yes. We send them in, and we make our jails the receptacles of our social failures. And so now the police are thrown in this nearly impossible position when we do that to them of trying to move our social failures. Every crime is a social policy failure, can be looked at that way, from the street to the jail cells. And they're creating a reservoir of resentment in the process between them and the communities that they police.
I mean, these are issues that are certainly not going to go away very, very soon. I mean, we've had these problems for decades.
We've had them for decades, and we have to say to ourselves now, the fact that we keep having these same problems for decades, we keep waking up to the same racial injustice Groundhog Day over and over again, is telling us that our old solutions aren't working, right? Maybe we need new solutions. Maybe our old understandings of the problems have been misguided, frankly, right?
Well, this has certainly been a lively conversation. Jody Armour, USC law professor and expert scholar on social justice. Thank you so much for being here.
It's all hands on deck for movie night in San Pedro. The Port of Los Angeles, the Battleship Iowa, and other local sponsors teamed up to bring family films under the stars to residents eager to be outdoors.
This evening we are having a free drive-in movie event. It's Toy Story the movie. It starts at 8 p.m. and the sponsors are the Port of Los Angeles, the Battleship Iowa, CD15 Joe Buscaino, San Pedro property owners, all sponsors of tonight.
we're really excited. It's Toy Story. It's a great kids movie, and we're just really looking forward to the evening and being outside finally. I love this. This is great. I feel like there's always something going on in San Pedro.
Tonight's special just because, you know, we wanted to do something fun for families to come out, especially after COVID. Everyone's been cooped up, and something fun for the kids, and it's a beautiful setting.
It's a nice time to get out and feel back to normal. We haven't been to a movie theater in, almost 2 years. To be out here and celebrate not only the city of San Pedro, our families.
Lo han hecho otras veces afuera, es algo que lo aprecias porque estás al aire libre y ya como le digo, se hizo una tradición para nosotros y es divertido hacer algo afuera, no estar siempre en casa.
We'll be having all kinds of events through the summer, and it's a nice way to come out, bring your family, your friends, and enjoy outside. Everything is outside and it's safe.
In 2018, the group Roots for Peace took the initiative to put a vacant lot in District 9 to better use. Fast forward to 2021, and a new community garden has blossomed in its place. The Channel 35 cameras were there as organizers celebrate their latest harvest.
And we're so happy to be here at our South LA Community Farm. This farm was established in 2018. It was designed, developed, and dreamed by young people here in the community, by adults, mothers, fathers, parents of families working together intergenerationally to develop a dream here in South Central, which is to transform this vacant lot into a beautiful green space that provides fresh air, fruits, vegetables, organic produce for the community.
We have a lack of green space, especially in South Central Los Angeles, so having a garden where you can grow your own food is enormous. It's a positive impact. It's a staple. It's a positive asset to have, because not only is it beautifying our environment, our community, but it's also impacting our folks, our community members in a positive way mentally.
Providing fresh, organic food in areas where it's just not as accessible, particularly in a city like LA where nutritious food is sometimes at a premium. Now providing it directly in a space where people can grow it themselves, learn about nutrition, and hopefully teach the next generation about how important it is to have nutritional food is very much not just helping people in the present, but helping future generations.
In Southern California, summertime means pool time. And in preparation of swim season kicking into full swing, the Los Angeles City Department of Recreation and Parks has a handful of safety tips to keep everyone safe in public pools. Take a look.
Safety, the main thing is never swim by yourself, if at all possible. Our swimming pools, they're staffed with lifeguards. They're highly trained individuals working in a team concept to make sure that the public comes in, has a very enjoyable time, and goes home safely at the end of the day. We do have a COVID policy that will be in effect. When you come into our facilities, you will be required to wear a mask as you enter and walk around. However, when you get into the water, you will not be required to wear a mask. The American Red Cross has a lot of things that you can download and look under pool safety, and they're free. We also have a LA City Recreation and Parks.org website under swimming pools, and a lot of information we posted on there, which will explain exactly what our protocols are, hours of operations for our facilities. We know that our pools are open and it's going to be hot, and we really express to the public that at the end of the day, when the pools are closed, we ask that you do not go in there illegally and swim. We know that everyone's been dying to get in here. We see the light at the end of the COVID tunnel. Our pools are getting ready to open, so be careful, but enjoy.
The field office of Council District 12 hasn't been the same since fostering Dodger from the West Valley Animal Shelter. Like other shelter animals fostered during the COVID-19 crisis, this new furry staff member has been a breath of fresh air to its adoptive family. Check this out.
Well, this is Dodger, and he's one of the pets from the West Valley Animal Rescue Center that we just reopened. Happy to be part of that. But we are fostering this dog. He's staying with one of our staff members.
I've been without a dog for about a couple, 2-3 years, and they're so wonderful. They're just great animals.
My community is so amazing. They always seem to come together during tough times, and we had so many animals fostered out and adopted during that time. It just played such a vital role in people getting through this pandemic.
The process is really easy. I went online and I just printed off and filled out the form for fostering. And it's a very simple form, and I submitted it, and the approval was relatively quick.
Unfortunately, there is limited ability to just go like we used to and just go look at all the different dogs. We try to get all of our pets adopted, so we try to make it as simple and easy as a process as possible. We can help, to make sure that they find someone like this, someone as lovable as this one.
In our feature story this week, Anita Bennett is joined in studio by council members Curran Price, Marquise Harris-Dawson, and Mark Ridley-Thomas. The panel discusses the growing popularity and cultural significance of Juneteenth in Los Angeles.
Many Black Americans consider June 19th or Juneteenth to be Independence Day. That's a day that the last enslaved people in this country were freed, but the celebration was bittersweet because they learned about their freedom over 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. Joining us to talk about Juneteenth in the city of Los Angeles are City Councilman Curran Price, Marquise Harris-Dawson, and Mark Ridley-Thomas. Thank you so much for being here.
Delighted to be here.
Yeah. So Juneteenth seems to be growing in popularity in the city of Los Angeles. Why do you think that is?
The unrest related to social justice and equity has permeated down. And certainly there's a greater awareness now of Juneteenth, greater appreciation of its historical significance, and a great appreciation for the need to celebrate it. As we talk about this racial reckoning and a reevaluation of our values and of our history, bringing greater equity into our society, we're taking a look at these kinds of issues, these kinds of programs. And certainly Juneteenth has been a topic of celebration within the Black community. Now others outside that community are understanding and appreciating the importance and value of it.
I think what you see over time is the story of Black people in this city more and more becoming central to the overall narrative about what Los Angeles and Southern California is. The Black community helped build this community. It helped make it the creative capital of the world, and so our story is one that's on the front page. I think it's important to keep these stories front and center as a reminder for how far we can fall if we're not vigilant.
Given the fact that Los Angeles is one of the largest population centers for African Americans, it is very difficult to imagine that there wouldn't be celebrations, and many of them, large and small, far and wide, to pay attention to and to pay homage to the high points and the low points of the African American sojourn in the United States of America. That's what it's about, I think. Juneteenth is kind of a look backward and a look forward to say, this is where we were, and we ain't never going back there again.
The LA Public Library wants kids to read and make art with pride. Check out the LGBT films on the streaming service Canopy, or tune in for the latest installment of the Your Author series. It's a special LAPL edition of Things to Do.
Pride matters to the Los Angeles Public Library, and they are eager to share stories and make art with you and your kids. In honor of Pride Month, the LA Public Library presents Let's Read and Make Art, a free one-hour program designed for children ages 5 through 11. If your kids are curious about the history and significance of Pride Month, break down the information in a kid-friendly and artistic way with the help of LAPL. All you need is paper, scissors, and whatever art supplies you have at home. This free virtual program takes place on Thursday, June 24th at 3 p.m. For more information, visit lapl.org/events. Did you know that the Los Angeles Public Library has more than 1,000 LGBTQIA feature films and documentaries as part of their new streaming service, Canopy? From coming-out dramas to cult comedies, the library's collection of films reflect and represent queer culture on screen. With one click and your library card, you can observe Pride Month with critically acclaimed and Oscar-winning films like Best Picture winner Moonlight or the outrageous comedy Hurricane Bianca. If you're ready to champion the stories of the LGBTQIA community and discover new films or just appreciate a familiar one, check out this ongoing free event starting June 23rd on the LA Public Library's website. Come and meet writer, producer, and TV host Susie Hicks at the latest Your Author Series program. On Friday, June 25th at 4 p.m., Susie will discuss her revolutionary children's book, Zainab the Great and the Giant Plastic Monster. This inspiring book is a scientific adventure for young readers. It tells the journey of Zainab, the queen of nature, and her challenge to discover who is behind all the garbage in the ocean. As an award-winning TV and radio personality, Susie Hicks successfully navigates the crossroads between entertainment, education, and environmental justice for children's media. Those attending this virtual program on the library's YouTube and Facebook page will have the opportunity to win a free copy of Zainab the Great and the Giant Plastic Monster. To find out more about Susie Hicks and the Your Author series, visit lapl.org. And that's a look at some virtual things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.